What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Things Done Change. I'm to you as Papa, aka Papa, and I'm back with another video. This video, you guys, is about the congressional hearing on UFOs. The title officially known as, what is it? Let me check my notes. The Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Exposing the Truth. That's what it was called for the hearing today. And man, yesterday, November 13th, when the hearing was in progress, it wasn't nothing that was too compelling. Like, if you follow this information, wasn't nothing that was too, like I mentioned, compelling if you already didn't know what's going on. The last congressional hearing that they had David Grush at, I think that one was a lot better, informative, a lot more information. This one, I think it was kind of like information we already knew, just with a little bit of, except this time they had a representative from NASA, a retired representative. What's his name? Let me check my note. Michael Golds from NASA. And he was kind of like condescending when he was asked certain questions. Like, you could tell, like, with him, he was in the benefit of NASA. He was combating the stigma on NASA. You could tell, like, the questions that they asked him, that Nancy Mace asked him, he was kind of like in the benefit of NASA. It kind of made you think, like, out of all witnesses that they could have brought into this hearing, they bring him. Now, when it comes to Lou Elizondo, I think if you're not familiar with Lou Elizondo, he used to work for ATIP at the Pentagon, along with some other like intelligence agency type stuff. And the things he said was kind of like the highlights of this hearing. I'm gonna play something for you guys that he mentioned when Nancy Mace asked him a few questions under oath. And I'm gonna let him speak for himself and let you guys hear what he had to say. This is the introduction. No, matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the meat and potatoes of what he had to say when Nancy Mace questioned him in regards to, are UAPs real, and if the government have what are they, special access programs or unacknowledged special access programs? Where is it? Give me a second, y'all. I think it's here. Yes, here.
It is my honor and privilege to testify before you on the issue of unidentified anomalous phenomenon, formerly known as UFOs. On behalf of our brave men and women in uniform and across the intelligence community, as well as my fellow Americans who have awaited this day, thank you for your leadership on this important matter. Let me be clear. UAP are real. Advanced technologies not made by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe. Furthermore, the U.S. is in possession of UAP technologies, as are some of our adversaries. I believe we are in the midst of a multi-decade secretive arms race, one funded by misallocated taxpayer dollars and hidden from our elected representatives and oversight bodies. For many years, I was entrusted with protecting some of our nation's most sensitive programs. In my last position, I managed a special access program on behalf of the White House and the National Security Council. As such, I appreciate the need to protect certain sensitive intelligence and military information. I consider my oath to protect secrets as sacred, and I will always put the safety of the American people first. With that said, I also understand the consequences of excessive secrecy and stovepiping. Nowhere was this more apparent than in the aftermath of 9/11, which many of us remember all too well. I believe that America's greatness depends on three elements. A watchful Congress, B, a responsive executive branch, and C, an informed public. Over the last decade and a half, I learned that certain UAP programs were and are operating without any of these elements. Although much of my government work on the UAP subject still remains classified, excessive secrecy has led to grave misdeeds against loyal civil servants, military personnel, and the public, all to hide the fact that we are not alone in the cosmos. A small cadre within our own government
Let me
involved
stop
in
it
the
right
UAP
there.
topic has created a culture of
Like, if you didn't know that, like, that's some explosive things to hear. For someone that's not into this type of information or don't know anything about UFOs and the government, this is some like groundbreaking things to hear. And for the naysayers, people that's not in tune with this type of information, why would congressmen and women all come together to have witnesses that work for the government? We have Lou Elizondo, who used to work for the Pentagon. We also have retired Navy Admiral Tim Gallant. Excuse me if I butchered his name. And they're not the only people that's like government workers or people that was involved in it. Why would they make this up? This is for the naysayers, people that just think they're making this up. Why would they have these hearings of people that's making this up? Even the instruments, the things that they use, the equipment is showing the same readings and things that they're seeing with their naked eye when these pilots go out there and these Navy admirals go out here and review the sensors and equipment. Everyone sees this stuff. So for the naysayers, I don't think these people are making this up. I think we are being lied to, and the government is withholding information from the public. And let me let you guys hear also what Lou Elizondo had to say in regards to the government and these secret programs. I have bookmarked it. Where is it? He blatantly just comes out and pretty much admits that the government has these, what are they? Crash retrieval UFOs. Where? Give me a second, y'all. Right when I had it, now it goes away. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I think this is it right here. I think this is it, y'all. Here it is, this one.
What were the dates in 2017?
When Nancy Mace asked Lou Elizondo. Oops, this is the wrong one.
Setting, and I can also tell you the agency that wrote a report on it.
Okay, so who?
Wait. When Nancy Mace asked Lou Elizondo his testimony as far as what the government has. Come on. My phone, it's like now my phone want to act up when I'm trying to, before I started this video, everything was going fine. But now, when I start, things want to go wrong. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's it right here. Listen to this, you guys.
Are these private companies you're implying, or is this non-human intelligence?
It may be both.
Okay.
When it comes to Blue Force Tech.
End quote. All right.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Okay, Mr. Elizondo, you state in your testimony that, quote, advanced technologies not by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe, end quote. If these technologies are not made by any government, who who's making them? Private companies, or are you implying they are crafted by a non-human intelligence?
Well, ma'am, that's precisely why we're here. The problem is that, temporally speaking, over decades, not just the last 10 years, to put this in perspective,
Are these private companies you're implying, or is this non-human intelligence?
it may be both.
Okay.
When it comes to Blue Force Technologies, I would not be able to discuss.
Listen,
Okay.
guys.
Are you read into secret UAP crash retrieval programs?
We would have to have a conversation in a closed session, ma'am. I signed documentation 3 years ago that restricts my ability to discuss specifically crash retrievals. I submitted for my book through the DOPSR process, which took a year for it to be reviewed. And what is in the book is what I was told.
This is the same process that David Grush last year when they had the hearing. This is the same process he had to go through with the Pentagon. He has to go through DOPSR to get certain things approved that they can speak on. And that's what Lou Elizondo is just basically expressing to Nancy Mace.
I'm allowed to talk about.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs? Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay. Were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft? Yes or no?
yes.
Does the U.S. government have any reverse? Okay, we already answered that question about retrieval programs. Do any U.S. contractors have the same?
I would prefer to address that in a closed session, ma'am.
Okay. In your book, you mentioned government employees who've been injured by UAPs placed on leave and receiving government compensation for their injuries. Is that correct?
That is correct.
How can the government deny we have recovered craft if they're paying people because they've been injured by recovered craft?
Ma'am, that's a great question. That's why
That don't make
we're here
any
again,
sense.
because I've seen the documentation by the U.S. government for several of these individuals who have sustained injuries as a result of a UAP incident.
It's a crazy idea, right? The hypocrisy and the logic. Okay, Mr. Schellenberger, I'm
You
going to
know-
say it again to be.
That was brought up on the when Lou Elizondo, he went on to the Daily CEO channel and he was interviewed over there, and he brought that up about an employee, a government worker that was injured from a UFO. I think it was the Bentwater incident that he brought up, and I think that's who he's speaking of when he's talking to Nancy Mace about government employee that's receiving benefits because they got injured from a UFO. So if they don't exist, how is this man being compensated? You know, and it's just so much. And the powers that be, it's only so long, I guess, you can hold on to all of this. And for how this stuff is just so tightly like guarded, it makes me wonder, are these beings a part of the government? Everybody always assume and think that a EBE or extraterrestrial or alien look like the little gray man. What if that's the throw off? What if they really? Then there's been reports that of people that's had contact with aliens that they look like us or we look like them, and maybe they are among us. Maybe they are some that do fit that description of the gray. But maybe that's the one they kind of put in everybody's face to throw them off from what they really look like. Because one thing about humans, we have processes and we do things that's great and amazing, but we're not perfect. And these beings are so much more intelligent than us to where I think they will make less mistakes than us. And I only say that to say that the way this is guarded, it seems like is being guarded from someone or beings that's more smarter than us, that knows how to keep everything quiet, because things leak in the government when it comes to all type of different information. But this, for so many years, 60, 70 years of suppression on UFOs and other beings, like, what's the big secret? I think it's deeper than what the public thinks or what your comment or what a person that knows this information, I think is deeper than what we think. Excuse me, y'all, I'm getting my words all caught up, and I'm just trying to express to you guys that I think they're among us. I think that I think these beings are in positions of power that looks like us, and then they're kind of like doing like a trick on us. You know, like if you was to play a street shuffler that want to play a 3-card molly or something, you're gonna make a distraction to throw people off from what you're really doing over here. You never, and that's the same, you never let your right hand know what your left hand doing, or your left hand know what your right hand is doing. I think it's the same with when it comes to this. I see I'm making this video quite long. I'm not gonna get to talking to you guys too much, but I did want to come on and make this video. If you want to see the congressional hearing on the UFO, the unidentified anomalous phenomena exposing the truth, I'm gonna put the link in the description, and I want to know what you guys think, and if you guys seen the hearing, and let me know what you think. How was it? Did you learn anything? Was there anything in this hearing that you didn't know or that you did know? Was it just a nothing burger, this hearing? Something like, we already knew, wasn't really nothing but just the same information being regurgitated? Let me know in the comments. And if you're new here, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.